Okay, Average Joes, welcome back. So I thought I would show you guys kind of what I'm working on here. This is my first attempt at doing a color scheme that I showed in my first video for my Tyranid army. First time I'm going to try doing this on a big model, so I don't know how well it's going to work, but I figured I'd kind of show the process of what I do to my guys. I have the little guy here, and as you can see, this is the effect I'm trying to replicate. So I figured I would give it a shot on the Swarm Lord and have you guys follow along. So we're gonna Bob Ross it here today. Kind of dating myself with that comment, but I'll post all the colors that I use for this so that you guys can attempt it too if you so want to. But first, obviously I've already pre-started some sections, but you take some red and you're just trying to apply it about halfway to about 3/4 of the way up the carapace. And what you're trying to do is you're just trying to start the process of shading it or transitioning. I don't know the actual term. Like I said, I've only been painting for about a year now, so knowing all the names and color schemes and everything like that, not really there yet. But as I learn them, I'll share them with you, and we can all do this together. So as you can see, it may look really like bright, but as it dries, it actually settles down really nicely, and you're able to figure out if you need a second coat. Now, the paints that I like to use, generally speaking, I'll need a second coat. So, but this right here is no different than what happened down here. Okay, so they're the exact same. So while that dries, what you do is you take an orange. I just use kind of like a basic natural orange and load my brush up right here. And what you're trying to do is between the bottom and the top, too much right there, you are just trying to take the majority of the red and make it disappear underneath the orange. Now, depending on how bright you want it to be, you would probably come through with a second coat. Now for this, I just come to the side on this ridge and just kind of come down, because I want that to be a strong color there. And you'll see why here when I go back up here to do that last step. So you just come across. I like to do it, since I'm left-handed, I kind of have this angle where everything wants to kind of ride that way. So I just let it go and do that. It doesn't end up looking too bad. And so, and like I said, it looks really bright right now, but it does settle down as it dries. So right there. Okay. So there's that. And now the last step on what you do is you take this yellow and very carefully you don't want too much on your brush because you just want to get it just on the bare bottom of this stuff down here. So you just come in here, go like this, just real soft. And just right here on the edge. Wow, that's way too much. Well, you guys are going to watch me fix a mistake. So that's kind of, so to fix a mistake, all you do is get a brush, make it wet, and go for some water, and as you can see, I was able to clean up most of it. So I'm going to grab a smaller brush here, because I didn't expect that to be so much of a pain in the butt. We're just going to do light little strokes right here. So, okay, that's more of what I want, because I want to layer it over time. I don't want it to just saturate it. So just little check marks, like little dashes is all you're going to do. And what this does is it mellows out the orange, and it kind of makes it all kind of blend together pretty nicely. So you just keep doing this, and then when you get to this middle section, you know how we did that with the orange, we made it kind of edge. You take the edge of your brush, you're just going to do that right here too. So, and as you can see, it's taking, because I didn't put a lot on my brush, it takes quite a few strokes to make it appear, which is kind of what you want. You don't want to make it so strong you don't see the colors underneath. So, but yeah, just little strokes like this. So, and if some of those are a little brighter than the rest and next to them, it's okay. It actually like kind of sell the effect a little more of being organic, because it's not uniform. Stuff that's organic is not supposed to be uniform. I mean, you got one arm that's longer than another. Maybe not by a lot, but there is a little bit. So, and just like that. And this is, now if you feel like you want the yellow to go up higher, you can make it go up higher into the red. Just do it unevenly. And eventually, you get to a point where you're happy with it. So, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and stop there and let you guys check that out. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll see what it needs, whether it be another layer of yellow, or what you can do. The fun part about this is you can, let's say you're like, oh, you know, I want my red to go a little bit higher right here. So you just take your brush, load up some red, and then you can just come back and reapply it. So like right here, I want this part to go up a little higher. And then we'll just do those marks down like that. And then by the time you've done these steps down here, you can actually come back up to the top of your model and do some more. And you always want the strokes that you make with your brush to go down. Follow the line of the body for this. So if you like what I'm doing, I mean, let me know. If you don't, hey, let me know. Or, which I would actually prefer, if you guys think of another way that I could do this paint scheme, and make it better, I would love to hear from you guys, because like I said, I know I'm not the best painter in the world, but this might give me an opportunity to reach out to some of you guys that are really good art painters, and we can talk. That'd be amazing. So, all right. Before I get in the zone and start painting forever, I'll go ahead and leave this here. So go ahead and give me a like, thumbs up, or a thumbs down if you don't like it. And but if you do give me a thumbs down, I do prefer if you would tell me why. It's only fair. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye. All right, welcome back, Average Joes. So today I'm going to do a continuation of painting the Hive Tyrant, or Swarm Lord I should say. And as you can see, I went ahead and from that previous video I went ahead and did all the sections in that paint scheme to go ahead and get them to where I like them. So, and I even did some right up here for that part of the horn. I'm not gonna lie to you, this actually ended up turning out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So the next part of what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing these swords. Now what I'm doing is I'm just going to do simple bone swords. So they were primed black, and then I put a brown over them kind of as a base, and then what I do is I kind of dry brush a bone on top. If you guys are wanting to follow along with the process of this model, I'll do my best to put all the paints and the paint brand that I use in the description so that you guys can follow along. So what you do for this section is you get yourself a messed up brush like this. Let's see if I can get this in focus real quick. Probably not. There you go. That's about as good as it's going to get. So, and then you kind of load up the brush a little bit, and we're just going to do it right here. So you kind of get it to where there's not a lot on there. You don't, you know, I've seen these new videos popping up where they do these texture palettes. I actually think that's a pretty cool idea. I'm thinking about making myself one. And then you just kind of come across like this. And then because what this will do is, as you can see, the ridge that is on this blade starts to come out. So it's a very simple thing. It's not very crazy or over the top, but as you do them and you keep going with that direction, it kind of will because this isn't an actual dry brush, it seems to me that it kind of creates its own little natural nicks in there. So, but don't get impatient when you do this. Otherwise, you know, you'll get a big splotch of too much paint. Or you'll get paint where you don't want it. So, just something like this. And then you can flip it and do the same thing on the back side of it. So, whoopsie, I almost did it myself. Got a little impatient. So, you know, obviously it's bouncing around because I don't got a good hold of it. And then if you don't like how translucent this first dry coat is, you can actually go back over it again and really get it in there. Now, I only do it this way with the bones, well, I mean the bone swords, I should say, because if I want to come in here and lighten up the edge or gore it up, then it'll still be enough there that you see it and you still get this natural highlight that came from dry brushing. So, and because of that brown, it doesn't even look chalky. I mean, you could probably argue it looks like a wooden sword, kind of the way it looks right there. But for like this finger right here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice little fine brush. I don't want it completely loaded, and then I'm just going to come in here and just very carefully kind of just work it right there. And then what I might do, because you know this is a developing scheme, is I might come in here with a sepia, because I like how it makes it look like aged bone, but I don't know yet. So that's the fun part about painting something you've never done before, is you don't know how it's gonna end up. Like, you got an idea in your head and you want to try it out, so but you know, I would think that these pro painters that do it for a living kind of had to start out like that. You know, you kind of, hey, I got a cool idea in my head, let's see if this works. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'll do for the swords. I think it looks good the way it fits in with everything, and then these little pieces right here will get the same treatment, because I actually like to think that they're part of it. So, but yeah, see, I mean, just that little bit makes a huge difference. So, doesn't take a lot. So, and so I hope that kind of gives you guys something cool to look at. I mean, if you're following along, then what you do is you just do the same thing with this as you do to the other 3 blades. I was actually trying to find 2 of these square ones. I can only find the one, because I was planning on doing 2 squares and then 3, because I just wanted it to look a little different, but ended up this way. So I'm planning on, after doing all this, I'll show you guys how I'll base this model, and then this guy's done. Future plans, I am thinking about trying some other paint schemes. I do have some spare Space Marines, so if you guys have an idea of something that'd be fun to try, or something that would be an interesting little test to see how I would try to make something, whether I do it successfully or not is a totally different matter, but I'm willing to try. So I do have some spare models that I can experiment with, so let me know. And if you guys like this stuff, give me a thumbs up, let me know, so that I know that I can keep doing this. Or if you don't like it, please do give me a thumbs down. Would rather walk away with you guys knowing the good and the bad from you than just seeing views and no thumbs up or thumbs down. But if you do give me a thumbs down, please, please, please tell me why. I can't become a better painter or a better creator of this stuff if you guys don't tell me, and I would like to think that you guys would like to see people become better painters, and this is kind of like my little journey of trying to become one. So, yep, I think that'll be it tonight with you guys. I try to keep them short and to the point. So, all right, y'all have a a wonderful time painting, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, welcome back. So from the last video, we were doing these swords. I ended up putting a wash of sepia on top. Figured that'd end up looking cooler, but I actually tested it down here first, because if I didn't like it, it's in an area that doesn't get your eye drawn. Your eye's going to be up here more. So tested it down here, see if I liked it. Ended up liking it, and I did all the bones that way. So this time around, what I'm going to show you guys is kind of a basic, easy way to base your models. So what you got to do is just get yourself some basic Elmer's glue. See, so easy stuff. And whatever basing material you wanted to use. Like for this one, I'm going to use sand from a company that I bought this from a while back, and the label doesn't really tell me who it's from, otherwise I'd give them the shout out they deserve. But I mean, if you're going to use something like dirt or sand, don't be like me and buy it. Just go outside, grab yourself some. So all you're going to do is just put a little bit on your base like that, and a little spot right there, and then get yourself a worn out brush that is all messed up. Like this tip is really hard because this is what I usually use it for. So, and all you do is you take it and you just spread. Oops, if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then just spread it around. It doesn't have to be a thick coat for this to work, but so just like this. It's okay if you get some on the base of your materials. So because when it dries, you can kind of just with your finger just kind of lightly push it off as it's drying, and it'll come off. So, all right, looks like that is pretty well spread around the area I want it to be. So now, take yourself a little tray. This is just to make the cleanup easier. So take yourself a little tray like this, and you just like that, and then all the excess, and there you go, base done. Like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot. And then for the cleanup, you can just kind of you're still going to get some, but not a whole lot. But you can at least save it so you can, whoops, can't even see what I'm doing. So, and then there you go. So, and with that, it's not too crazy. And so after that dries, I can actually put some more glue on here in certain spots, and I'll put different sized little pebbles and stuff in there to kind of break up the fact that it's all one size. And then do this guy's eyes, because I've been putting that off because that is some small detail. I'm afraid of getting it messed up. But then, yeah, once this is all dried out and those little bits of rock put on there, I'm gonna call him done and prime him, or not prime him, sorry, seal him with matte varnish. So, well, I hope you like this trio of videos, and let me know, and if you do, I'll do some more. All right, y'all have fun painting. Bye.